I power walk down to that pile of gummy bears and back. I should probably set the pile out further, or closer, so I can get at them.
Hey guys, what's up? Happy Friday. We have made it once again back to Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. As we all know, chaos is happening everywhere. It's quite fun, really. But regardless, we can pull through. We can pull through. Just checking everything here. We are live on Rumble, on Kick, on X, and YouTube. So if you're new to the show, I do a show called the Power Up Podcast. It is a show that talks about pop culture, anything that sparks my interest, and we look at it and see the good, the bad, the ugly, sometimes the spiritual, taking place inside of it, and comment on it, perhaps laugh about it. You know, that fun stuff. Just a guy throwing in his 2 cents into the chaos of pop culture, trying to bring it back, trying to relive and rekindle that flame of nostalgia because, heaven forbid, Hollywood and all that isn't doing it and they're not successful at it. But if you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button, punch the thumbs up, and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. And you can find my other descriptions. I have many descriptions, actually, some of which probably shouldn't be repeated. You can find my other social media in the description, listed over there and on X on my link tree. But yeah, we got some articles here today to discuss. The main one that I just thought was absolutely hilarious is the Acolyte creator Leslie Headland apparently thinks that she was successful in capturing the inspiration and the tone of Cowboy Bebop and the Acolyte. Absolutely hilarious. We also got Halo from Paramount Plus being canceled, and for good reason, because it's garbage. Got some info about just video game talk. Apparently John Carmack criticizing right-wing cancel culture. First time I've ever heard of the right wing doing some canceling. Sure. Of course, being brought about because of the recent event involving Donald Trump and the failed attempt assassination. Good old Assassin's Creed Shadows might be going up to a diplomatic incident on how crazy that's going. And very interesting, Viggo Mortensen, the Lord of the Rings actor, apparently says, franchise films, not really that good or that well written compared to, the novels or the books that they're based on. So we'll look into those. Let us hop into it. Let's get going. Coming from that part place. So the Lord of the Rings actor Viggo Mortensen blasts his franchise films. They're not usually that good, and they're not usually that well written. So look at that right there. That just goes to show how out of touch I am on like dates and stuff. Because, man, that guy looks old compared to that right there. 2003. Wow. Like, year 2000. I could have sworn it was like much later. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Just how I long to go back, back in that time when things were just awesome. So Lord of the Rings actor Viggo Mortensen blasts Hollywood's big film franchises, saying they're not usually that good and they're not usually well written. Very true. Give the man a ribbon. In an interview with Vanity Fair, the Aragorn actor was asked if he intentionally avoids franchise films. He replied, "I don't really look for or avoid any kind of genre or any size budget. I just look for interesting stories. Doesn't matter to me what the genre is or what the budget is or who's making them." Next, he revealed that what is paramount in his decision-making is a film's story. "I would never do a movie just because so-and-so is directing it. It has to be about the story. If I think I'm right for the character, That always comes first. From there, he addressed the franchise films. That goes for franchises. If somebody comes to me with X movie, the third part or the ninth part, and I thought it was a great character and I wanted to play that character, and I thought I had something to contribute, I do it. I'm not against it. However, he then shared, but they're not usually that good. I mean, to me, they're not usually that well written. They're kind of predictable. I mean, of course, there's always the issue if I run out of money. When asked how he balances, oh, geez. Every time. Let me try that again. As long as I can pay the rent, or when he asked how he balances career opportunities with being able to pick the films he wants to be in, he shares, as long as I can pay the rent and make my professional life work, then I hold out until I find something that I like as a great challenge and something I'm going to learn from. How old is he anyway? He continued, I've come close a few times to, well, oops, I've got to do something. Hopefully I can find something that's halfway decent, but I don't have a giant corporation that I'm running. I don't have to think, well, I can't do this small movie because I have to make a movie where they pay me millions of dollars. Never looked at looking for work that way at all. To Mortensen's point about franchises not being well written, he tactfully criticized Prime Video's The Lord of the Rings, The Ring of Power back in 2022 by questioning what the show's source material was. When asked about the show by The Hollywood Reporter, Mortensen responded with his own questions. What is that? The TV thing? Is it with Apple or something? When informed it was the Prime Video series and is, quote, thought to be the most expensive TV series ever made, he replied, oh, right. Yeah, I'll watch that. However, he then questioned, but do you know what source material they're using? What are they allowed to use? It is possible Mortensen might return to The Lord of the Rings and reprise his role as Aragorn in Andy Serkis' upcoming The Lord of the Rings The Hunt for Gollum film. Serkis spoke about the film with Deadline back in May and discussed what characters might appear in it. It's a difficult question to answer right at this moment in time because we're really in the nascent stages of what it is exactly we're going to do, and where the story is going to take us. So I don't want to commit anything right now. I mean, because it's so raw and wriggly. We are just literally having very early state scripts discussions and ideas of exactly where and how we're going to drop anchor with the character and his journey and how he or comes into contact with other characters and the characters that we know and don't know. So still, I would hate to say anything that's going to commit us at this point because it's literally all up for grabs, he concluded. However, it's likely the hunt for Gollum is likely based on a number of passages from Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Ring. In the book, Gandalf informs Frodo, light of sun and moon, he still feared and hated, and he always will, I think, but he was cunning. He found he could hide from daylight and moonshine and make his way swiftly and softly by dead of night with his pale, cold eyes, and catch small, frightened, or unwary things. He grew stronger and bolder with new food and new air. He found his way into Mirkwood, as one would expect. Gandalf then informs Frodo that he did indeed see Gollum in Mirkwood. I saw him there, but before that he had wandered far following Bilbo's trail. It's difficult to learn anything from him, for certain, for his talk was constantly interrupted by curses and threats. Ah, old Gollum. After recalling the manner of Gollum's curses and threats, he told Frodo, but from hints dropped among the snarls, I gather that his padding feet had taken him at least to Asgaroth, and even to the streets of Dale, listening secretly and peering. Well, the news of the great event went far and wide in Wilderland, and many had heard Bilbo's names and knew where he came from. We had made no secret of our return journey to his home in the west. Gollum's sharp ears would soon learn what he wanted. Oh, dear Lord. See, now they're just padding this like from stuff from the book. Holy crap. Yeah, they're just like literally copying and pasting the book. Maybe not literally, but you're definitely padding this article with like this stuff. Here we go. However, with the help of Aragorn, he was able to pick it back up again, and my search would have been in vain but for the help that I had from a friend, Aragorn, the greatest traveler and huntsman of this age of the world. Together we sought for Gollum down the whole length of Wilderland without hope and without success, but at last, when I had given up the chase and turned to other paths, Gollum was found. My friend returned out of great perils, bringing the miserable creature with him. So that's kind of where Aragorn, and then Gandalf informed Frodo that Aragorn captured him after he had left Mordor. When he was found, he had already been there long and was on his way back on some errand of mischief, but that does not matter much now. His worst mischief was done. So given Aragorn plays a significant role in the source material, it is quite possible the character will play a significant role in the film as well. That leaves the door open for Mortensen to reprise his role. However, he is now 65, so it's possible he might do a cameo as another character rather than reprise the role of Aragorn. What do I make of Mortensen's comment about Phil franchise being poorly written? Well, I think he's definitely onto something. I think he's like dead on. Yeah, because nowadays, especially Hollywood, they're just cashing on the franchise name alone and just assume that people like it. They'll just come up and pay money to go see it, and things they can weasel by with like having garbage stories and all that stuff. An interesting article. John Carmack criticizes right-wing cancel culture in wake of Donald Trump assassination attempt. Niche gamer. Yeah, this one I was like, what? Okay. So video game industry veteran John Carmack posted recently about the recent trend to contact employers of individuals who espouse opposing opinions or beliefs in the hopes of getting them fired. The industry veteran and programmer by trade expressed frustration over right-leaning people canceling left-leaning people, the latter of which have been posting frustration online that former President Trump wasn't assassinated this past week. So in his post, Carmack accused right-wing internet users of participating in the same behavior that's exacerbated the culture war with Glee. No, a lot of the people that what you think are doing the same behavior are actually just happy that your guys' masks have finally fallen off and you're scumbags. Sad to see the glee that some on the right have at the opportunity to deploy cancel culture over post-assassination attempt comments. You're literally instigating harassment by violence. You're pissed because to you the shooter missed, because you would be making the same comments, not the exact same, but these people would be cheering if it was successful and that he deserved it. Again, the mental gymnastics all these people do to always somehow make them either be right or that there's some grave injustice happening upon them. That they're the victims. Sad to see the glee that some on the right, I already read that. Carmack said, I'm a hardcore free speech advocate, and I look at it like germ warfare. It's bad for the whole ecosystem, except certain people ultimately don't care and move on. But other people have been painting something so long that they become the very thing that they hate, you know? I don't know if that made sense. Probably not. Well, that was a weird glitch on Rumble's end. Because that even showed up on... So that showed up on the Xing. Anyway, he added, people like to think that they would fight and die for their sacred principles. This is low stake practice. The actors will say, those aren't my sacred principles. I'm going to punch back at my enemy. But to the people at the margin, maybe the principles is important to you. Maybe you shouldn't cheer for an online mob. If he's trying to say that that's what the right does, think again, because the right doesn't do that. I mean, some extremists on the right might, but this always comes from the left every time because they're scum. Because they found a way where they could be despicable, disgusting human beings, and the mainstream media and the, Google and then will support them. And they got used to it. And then when the assassination attempt happened, reality struck, and they said, oh, I think I'll be the baddies. You are the baddies, and you always were the baddies. But now some people will either try to weasel their way out by saying, well, I never meant it in the first place, or you'll have people like Destiny just flip out and just go ham, which I'm sure that will ultimately lead him to victory in his mind, I guess. So some of the responses to Carmack's tweet accuse him of not coming to the defense of conservative victims of cancel culture, something which he has in the past expressed regret for having said at the time, I regret not doing more to support and defend Palmer Luckey at Facebook. Other responses to Carmack claim that there's a substantial difference between wishing death on a former president and a child wearing a traditional headdress when he's actually part of that culture. However, Carmack appears to consider it a matter of principle that cancel culture, regardless of source, is dangerous, calling it germ warfare in reference to the chilling effect on free speech. Carman is largely known as the co-founder of id Software and the lead programmer on popular games such as Doom, Wolfenstein, Commander Keen, and more. I mean, in the end, if your double standard got shown, that says a lot about who you are. Anybody can later on, when their hand is caught in the cookie jar, Kyle Gass and Jack Black can say, well, I regret I didn't do anything. It's like, well, yeah, but are you saying this because you're legitimately sorry? Is it the principle of the matter? Like you're claiming what it is? Are you doing that right now? Or are you just saying it because you got caught and that your true self got shown? Wait, what? Whoa, the story on the right a month ago, some dude stopped the knife attack because of enemy? Wait. Oh. Taiwanese otaku inspired by Freerin helped stop knife attack. Himil will do the same. Okay. So Taiwanese otaku is credited with helping stop a knife attack on the metro in Taichung City. Referred to as the long hair guy, the individual is one of 17 Good Samaritans credited with helping preserve life during the attack. Why is this worded really weird? The attack, it might be just the way it was translated. The attack fell on the 20th anniversary of a similar attack on the Taipei Metro in 2014. When receiving the award, he reportedly said that if he were the hero Himil, he would do the same. And Himil, the hero, is a character in the popular anime series Frieren Beyond Journey's End. The series follows the titular elf Frieren, who's on a journey to the far north to see where spirits go and possibly reunite. What's up, Oni Link, by the way? After he dies of old age, he accepted his award while wearing a Monster Hunter license Haori jacket. Oh, gosh. That's cool that he saved him, but dear Lord, yeah. Get out and touch grass, my friend. to that person. Oh, otakus. What is that emote? That email. I heard that one, although that one anime I heard is actually really good. I've been trying to. I need to get more into or back into anime. I've been super depressed, and it's been hurting my anime watching abilities. Kind of small, but it's Hulk Hogan from last night. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. Anyway, that Park Place Japanese politic aid indicates Assassin's Creed Shadows debacle could escalate into diplomatic incident. This is insane if it gets to this level, into this level. And part of me kind of wish it does, so that video game industries can take the damn hint that when you apply wokeness to a history that you don't care about, and if anything, you try to find someone who claims they're a historian, but really is just an activist, people don't like it. Manga says, lift the spirits. I try. I am unfortunately, that's a thorn that has been in my side for a long, long time. Chemically in the brain, kind of established by that with depression. Sucks. And you try to fight it, but you go on day by day. Japanese political aid indicated that the backlash to Ubisoft's upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows game could escalate into a diplomatic incident. It's first reported by Grums on X. Japanese political aid detailed the game and its false depiction of Japanese history, culture, and aesthetics, primarily revolving around the depiction of Yasuke as a legendary samurai. I always say that every time that name comes up because I hear it pronounced differently like so many times. I mean, it's okay. This is literally reiterating just what we read. Anyway, Grums reports that letters are being sent with questions to the Japan Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry. He added, while the government had not taken action yet, they're waiting for final release of the game to decide. And there's a mounting pressure in Japan to address the issue with Ubisoft portrayal of false information to Japanese children. Oh, wow. They're going that route? Dang. I find it weird to wait for it to be released. I've already said it before. Like, I wish that... I don't care if the game's made. Cause them to halt it and to fix it. An Archdemon's Dilemma. How to love your elf bride helps with any depression. With the Pepe meme, says Oni Link. Wait a minute. Did Rumble just now start on my show? Looks like it's lagging. Hold on. What the hell? Even though it said it started 44 minutes ago. Shadows has its questions about lore, but diplomatic issue, doubtful. I mean, if they can pull it off, then by all means. Wait, why Okay, now all of a sudden the time just... I have no idea what's happening on Rumble's end. So far, it says we've been live for 30 minutes. Roughly. Anyway. So as seen in the video below, the political aide detailed that he sent a variety of questions to the Japanese government and received a report back from them. He noted he sent questions to Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Education. Okay, we just read all that. Ministry of Computation. As translated and shared to X by Grums, the aide shared the first question he asked. It pointed out that Mr. Thomas Lockley, who's like now disappeared off of the face of the earth, or at least all the social media, Associate Professor, Foreign Languages, Faculty of Law, Nihon University, wrote a book about Yasuke's story, which he created from his own imagination and spread the contents of the book as historical fact all over the world, and that this is a movement to make a fabricated history the truth of the world without many Japanese people even knowing about it. Please tell us the government's opinion on this point and its future policy. See, my question is number one, it's a white dude. We'll go the race route. Number one, you got this guy, white dude. Number two, white dude made this in like 2019. You're telling me no other person, regardless of race, like wrote about this guy earlier on? Question, they did. And literally an X user went to the historical records of Japan and found all the information about the guy. Like this is what fascinates me. Like it is like I do agree with them about how this slipped by without many Japanese people knowing it. Don't need any government getting involved with anything gaming ever again, LOL. Well, true. I mean, the US government sucks. All government sucks, really. I just think it's hilarious. He shared that this question was sent to Japanese Ministry of Education and Culture. Oh my gosh. The same thing again. I've read it once. I do not want to read it like multiple times. Look at this. Same thing again. Holy crap. Anyway, all that Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry. Assassin's Creed Shadows, a new game being developed by the French game company Ubisoft, is set to the Sengoku period of Japan, and Yasuke, I already changed it, appears as the main character. This game company has been taken over by people at the political correctness movement, and from the pre-release interview footage, the disrespect of Japan is blatant. The content of the game that has been partially released has also been distorted and grossly disrespectful of Japanese cultures, histories, and Japanese people. It continues. For example, in an interview, a person in charge of the grotesque decapitation scene said death was a common occurrence in Japan at the time. Most people died by having their heads neatly cut off. I would like to know the government's view on this matter and its future policy. So again, his third question he brought up. If it were a game made by a private company, there would be no need to be so concerned. But it has been announced that it was based on Japanese historical facts, and if this goes viral, people all over the world will start to believe it, which I think is extremely malicious. In fact, the following message has been released. The Brazilian embassy in Japan publicly announced on Facebook that Yasuke was, quote, Japan's first black samurai, and that Yasuke was brought to Japan in 1579 and became a hero. He then linked to the Brazilian embassy in Japan's Facebook post and concluded, please let us know the government's view on the matter. So this is the response he received from the first question. In general terms, if there's any suspicion that the content is contrary to deduction reading, careful measures should be taken. He also detailed that this game is currently undergoing ethical review, so it has not been officially released, so it will not be published as a separate game. And then a response to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I mean, giant enemy crabs battling in ancient Japan was based on historical records too. Salamander people can be debated. Did Kamala Harris write this? Salamander people can be debated. Because those are like Nephilim stuff. That can be technically traced. Possibly even crab people. So, however, he would later state, but after receiving the response from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, there was a phone call. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has responded that it is just a game that has nothing to do with diplomacy, but the matter has become quite large and there is a possibility that it could escalate into a diplomatic issue. I have said that there is a possibility, but at this current state, it is just a game and I cannot give an answer. Well, then just keep blasting them with pushback. So still later in the video, he also indicated he requested the National Diet Library to confirm what is and is not true regarding the history of Yasuke. He noted, regarding the request of the National Diet Library, it would be helpful if you could check the information in the primary source about Yasuke in Thomas Lockley's book, and then summarize the information that is clearly wrong after checking these two. He indicated he would receive a response in this inquiry by July 31st. Ooh. Them crabs would make a better video game adaptation. True. And then what do I make of the political aids information comments? Like I said, I think it'd be absolutely hilarious if this Quebec French group of woke assholes suddenly had the Japanese government asking them why they are doing stuff that is clearly not correct. But as Oniling pointed out, yeah, we don't really want government involved in it. The most I would like them to see is for them to lose money. Japan dude, like, who cares? All right. Niche Gamer. The Halo live action series canceled by Paramount Plus. RIP. We've learned Paramount Plus has canceled their Halo live action series based on the popular video games not long after its second season. It was canceled after its second season, which ran from February to March of this year. Thank Jeebus. The show originally premiered back in 2022. Paramount Plus can confirm that Halo will not move forward with the third season on this series. The streaming company said, "We are extremely proud of this Ambition series." Bullshit. You destroyed it. And would like to thank our partners at Xbox, 343 Industries, and Amblin Television, along with the showrunner and executive producer, David Weiner, and his fellow executive producers, the entire cast led by Pablo Schreibers as Master Chief, and the amazing crew for all their outstanding work, but it is worse. We wish everyone the best going forward. The Halo live-action series sported a big budget and was co-produced by Paramount Plus. Okay, literally the companies that we just read. Though the show has been canceled at Paramount Plus, reports are noting showrunners are shopping it around to other platforms. We deeply appreciate the millions of fans who propelled the Halo series to be a global success, and we remain committed to broadening the Halo universe in different ways in the future, 343 Industries said. Yeah, and the fans said, this is garbage, but you guys didn't listen to it. Because, the franchise is popular, we'll make money anyway. We are grateful to Amblin and Paramount for their partnership in bringing our expansive sci-fi universe to viewers around the world. Originally proposed as a live-action film back in 2005, man, it would have just probably been better just to be a movie. And at some point had Neil Blomkamp attached to direct. Eventually, the project was switched to be a TV series, though. It took over a decade for it to finally come to fruition and premiere. Well, there you go. Do you guys miss it? Let me know in the comments below. I never watched it because I heard it was hot garbage. Big old hot garbage. Niche Gamer have anything else interesting? I think I looked. River City Saga 3 Kingdoms next to announce. Maybe we'll kind of end on that one. That seems pretty cool. Wait, Snow Brothers Special? Snow Brothers 2? I'm curious about that because I'm wondering if that's like, I need to play River City Ransom. Actually, we have this one. Let's read this one first. So 82% of American players made an in-game purchase last year, survey suggests. This comes from Video Game Chronicle. So according to the report, 62% of all adults over the age of 18 played a video game. That's according to ComScore 2024 State of Gaming Report, published by GI.biz, which was made in partnership with in-game advertising platform Anzu. I watched it till they started having Master Chief naked hugging with some Covenant spy lady and went and done. Yeah, that's what I heard. And Cortana sucks apparently or something. I don't know. According to the report, 62% of adults over the age of 18 played a video game, while millennials comprising 49%, followed by Gen Z at 13%. Yeah, look at that. Gen Z. And these are 13%. These are the people that the companies are apparently making for modern audience. Saw reviews that confirmed it was underwhelming. Of the people surveyed, 77% play on more than one platform, and over a third regularly use a combination of console, PC, and mobile. That'd be me, but I emulate a lot because it's the best way to go. Emulation PC. However, I did get a new game capture card, and we can finally get back to playing Beyond Good and Evil. The game capture card was on sale at like 30% off, which definitely had to snag it. This comes from, let's see, EVGA, the XRL Lite. And the reason I got this is one, people online said it was good for the light version, and two, literally don't have to download any drivers whatsoever. Not like Elgato, which is garbage. Literally just plug it in, set it up in OBS, and you're done. And I did, and it looks amazing. So super happy about that. So on 2024 State of Gaming Reports highlights, oh wait, I skipped something. It's claimed that video game enthusiasts, that's me, in the U.S. spent 45 billion hours on gaming sites and apps last year, with esports becoming increasingly popular. Discounts are great. Indeed. 86% of Gen Z and 80% of millennials surveyed said they watched esports. I did not. While 53% of Gen Z, I'd like to make money just playing video games. I guess technically that's what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to do more than that. While 53% of Gen Z and 61% of millennials said they engaged with esports content. I thought esports like has started going downhill because it's a bunch of woke garbage, but I don't know. Maybe the US ones. Our 2024 State of Gaming Reports highlights the cultural significance of gaming and the vital role of gamer behavior for brands looking to tap into this dynamic and engaging audience, said ComScore's Chief Commercial Officer Steve Bagdasari. See, my only thing about that is these reports, I want to know if these reports like look at digital versus, physical, like console, PC, and stuff like that. Because the gaming companies are trying to push everything digital, which I have a problem with. Especially if they want, like, get our gaming log when you get the the Xbox Game Pass. You got 3 of them, and the best one is the most expensive one, and you're going to keep jacking the price, and technically, you may not even own it. So, screw it. I did a quick look already in here just to see if there was like any interesting Slitterhead, how Silent Hill's creator is building a 2024's craziest horror game. Oh yeah, the Nintendo's releasing a new two-way stand for Switch Joy-Cons. Oh, that sucks. Influential GoldenEye Perfect Dark artist Brett Jones has died? Dang. Well, rip him. Alrighty. This one definitely caught my eye. Come from Bounding into Comics. There was other articles about the Acolyte over on that Park Place, but this one, like, makes me just chuckle. Because now Leslie's trying to say that her Acolyte series was tonally inspired by Cowboy Bebop. So tell me, guys, when you watch The Acolyte, Greg loves The Acolyte. I love it so much that I haven't seen one episode. In fact, it seems like the series could easily be summed up and written thoroughly in a review by just watching clips on X. Because that's how bad the story is. What up, the Otaku Paradise? When I think of the Alkaline, I just think of Velma, but not animated. Maybe she's talking about the live-action Cowboy Bebop. Dude, I will not be surprised if she pulls that by saying, like, it did so much, it failed miserably, and makes all the more difference. So according to showrunner Leslie Headland, the, quote, emotional jarring tone of the Acolytes, you mean like on how awful it is that people are emotionally sick and they're jarred from just how bad the writing is? Then sure. Was directly inspired by the likewise presentation of Spike Spiegel's story in the classic anime series Cowboy Bebop. Oh my gosh. Headland offered this insight into the widely panned Star Wars series production during a postseason finale interview given to Collider's Maggie Lovett. And remember, when all of your interviews tell you to ignore the reviews, ignore the critics, and then have to thoroughly explain every little detail of why you did it, your show sucks. So in reference to her past pair of admissions, as made during the Acolyte-centric interview with Lovett, then the visual depiction of the Space Witch Coven's magic use was inspired by the main monster in the film Crimson Peak. Wait, really? I don't remember reading that. That sounds gay as hell. And that the relationship between Kimir and Osha was a direct riff on the one shared by Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragons, Lo Zio Ho and Zhen Yu. Lovett pressed the showrunner as to whether the series had any other visual or story influence. Okay, look at this. So not only did she insult Star Wars, she insulted Crimson Peak and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which goes to show that these people can't write a good story. Because they'll just say, well, I was influenced by these series as well. And you're like, oh, great, show me where that influence is. Like, show me where it is in the actual episode, like in the actual show, that I can go, oh, that's in reference to this. They can't. I asked a buddy of mine who was watching the show if there is a single well-portrayed straight white person, and he could not think of one. Of course not. Well, no. Kimir. Him. Now, you could say, now I know what you guys are thinking, but he's Asian. But you got to remember that people like Leslie see Asian people as being white adjacent. Only, of course, when it's opposing views. I guess I should stress that. When you side with their ideology, then you're truly a white or an Asian person. If you're not, then you're white adjacent. We see that clearly with Ubisoft. And then so Leslie affirms, yes, Shinichiro Watanabe. He is the creator of Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. Both excellent series. Both prime examples of, if you want a good 90s anime, Cowboy Bebop how an anime should be, 90s example, and then an early 2001 Samurai Champloo. Excellent example of kind of pretty much what a really well, if not perfect, anime is. Like, story-wise, visual-wise, and even length-wise. Those were big references, not visually, but tonally. Ah, yes, because when I think of the Acolyte, I think of Cowboy Bebop. Especially, Cowboy Bebop bounces back and forth between Spike's backstory, which is incredibly tragic and heart-wrenching, and then his fun buoyancy when they do the episodic episodes. He feels like a Han Solo coded character, so totally those were references. Dude, the fact that you had to insert totally doesn't make me believe you, even though I literally just said dude, but that's just me. I don't know why, but when I hear the name Leslie, I think of an extremely obese woman who isn't that attractive in any type or way. Yeah. I know some Leslies that aren't that way, but you replace that I and throw a Y in it, like how she spells her name, Leslie, then absolutely. Like Dyke City. So turning her attention to another one of her influences. Oh, okay. Lay it on me. Headland continued with Osha and the stranger's relationship. The influence was Bram Stoker's Dracula and Francis Ford Coppola, or by Francis Ford Coppola, which I know is different from the book. That film is one of my favorite films. Dude, did anyone get Bram Stoker from The Acolyte? Like what? Did you have Kemir bang a giant werebat out in public? Again, it was to have someone that was so scary, to have someone that we clearly see as a bad guy with that lame gimp mask, and he's doing bad things, and Lucy is dying, and then to have this, she's talking about, I thought she was referring to her show. And he's doing bad things, and Lucy is dying, and then to have this deep connection with Mina, where you see a totally different side of him, which was not at all in the book. Sorry. You could literally get that from another movie. That sort of setup. The showrunner detailed. One of the things that really works about that movie is that there's this past life soulmate reincarnation idea of this character. Again, not at all what the actual book, which I've read, which is actually really good, is about. That was Coppola's vision of Bram Stoker. Who was Vlad the Impaler influenced by? That would be Vlad Tempest, who, yeah, his name means dragon, and that does tie back into Nephilim, dragon, that has been alive for centuries, and he is just shocked to find her. There's also a moment later in the movie. Look at this. She literally has to give a monologue explaining about how all of these influential moments she saw in different movies show up in hers. And yet she's not even explaining hers. She's just saying, oh, yeah, it's going to be like that. I have not seen a single Star Wars property. I know, please don't stone me to death, but I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is not Star Wars. You're fine. There's also a moment later in the movie where she agrees to drink his blood, and he says, I can't let you do this. It's basically going to damn your soul. Not at all what Dracula says in the book. Headland elaborated. And she has the agency and makes the decision to make this bond between the two of them. So she doesn't love Jonathan Harker, which isn't Dracula at all, because Mina straight up uses her connection with Dracula in order to find out where he is and put a stop to him, to kill the gypsies, and then stab him with knives, and then he turns to dust. Headline elaborated, and actually, in earlier drafts, the stranger had a line from that movie, which is, I had crossed oceans of time to find you. A lot of gothic romances were referenced. Jane Eyre Worcester and sort of a Byronic hero for those two. Drawing your thoughts on the topic to a close, Headland returns her admiration for Cowboy Bebop, jovially concluding, but Jeki and Yord, that was very Shinichiro Watanabe, excuse me. Like that sort of buoyant fun and then meeting a tragic end. The Witches were Black Narcissus, a 1947 British horror film centering on the inner turmoil of a covenant of Anglican nuns. Dude, how many references does she list in here that I guarantee you not one person said, oh, yeah, that's from that. Totally feeling that vibe. Again, if if you successfully convey that in the episode, that's one thing. But so far, no one has mentioned anything that they got all of this from the Acolyte. So she's not the only member of the Acolyte crew, that would be Headland, to have admired that their contribution to the series was directly inspired by the anime. Oh, bullshit. Khmer actor Manny Jacinto revealed that both Demon Slayer and the live-action Rurouni Kenshin... Don't even compare the live-action Rurouni Kenshin series to this abomination. Give me a fucking break. Because they actually knew somewhat of the story and the lore of Rurouni Kenshin. Like, I could straight up point out scenes from the live-action series where they literally looked like it's from the manga panel. I guarantee you did not go into that detail. Films played a major part in forming his take on the villain's lightsaber combat style. When we were initially talking about how the character moved, we noticed that in the prequels with Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, they were always very upright, like a fencer's stance, says Jacinto. But we wanted to just change levels and be incredibly dynamic. A big inspiration of us was the Rurouni Kenshin movies. These live-action Japanese movies were incredible swordplay. And I was and am really into Demon Slayer, which informed a lot as well. Yeah, the only difference is that if you saw the behind the scenes of them practicing their swordplay every day, guarantee you didn't really do that. Or you had a really shit instructor. Cowboy Bebop was a manly story about space outlaws. Besides space, what does Star Wars Acolyte have to do with this? Absolutely nothing. Frogger says, at this point, this is in the comments from Bounding into Comics. At this point, I'm pretty sure she's just using some sort of random word generator. Ah, yes. My Totes Amazing series was visually inspired by Pole's lover, the Teletubbies. Wow, much brilliant. Such inspired. I agree. That's exactly. These are some Olympic level mental stretches on her part. Just what deal with the devil did she sign that she's this desperate to try and salvage the show by tying to actual popular ones? Exactly. She's grasping at straws. Oh my gosh, that was awful. That was terrible. But let's wind down the show here with River City Saga, 3 Kingdoms next announced. So publisher and developer Arc System Works have announced River City Saga 3 Kingdoms Next, a new release in their throwback historical action subseries. I don't think this is related to River City Ransom that I'm thinking about. But we're here anyway, so why not? So it's going to be released for PC, Switch, PS4, November 7th worldwide. Here's the rundown of the game and a trailer. So we had our beloved hero Kunio as Guan Yu Wanderer throughout the warring states of feudal China. The story picks up from the aftermath of the Battle of the Red Cliffs and continues on until it reaches its historical climax at the Battle of Wushang Plains. With a total of 100 unique River City characters, the story will not end without a crazy comic twist. There's more generals join, like Liu Bei, army to arrive the stronger Cao Cao. Don't pursue Liu Bu. Remember that from Dynasty Warriors? That was actually, I liked that game. You can now ride Red Hare and go through the stages on its back. Just ride through anyone who dares stand in your way. You got your tactics, the fire tactics still in the game. Let's check it out. We'll watch the Japanese trailer. Unfortunately, this was not what I thought it was. Actually, wait a minute. I do not have speakers equipped. Here we go. Here, we'll make it bigger. Oh, it does have a... Why... For some reason, the video looks terrible, even though it says it's in HD playback. The hell is going on? Yeah, that actually is River City. Okay, so it took the sprites from River City Ransom. That's cool. So it is kind of like a beat 'em up. Okay, I'm intrigued. See, I like these. Again, I need to actually play this series. I like playing these type of games. There you go. We get new characters in the style of River City. That guy had a butt chin. There you go. Cool. That was it. Okay. Well, if you're a fan of River City Ransom, maybe, yeah, exactly. Check it out, because that actually looks pretty cool. All right, pups. That's all I had for you tonight. I am pretty tired. Long week. I have a problem with the Arc system. Works after Guilty Gear Strive. Plus, their fighting game system has not been blind friendly in the last 6 or 7 years. Well, unfortunately, I cannot help you with that. Wish I could. Guilty Gear Strive, I'm not familiar with. Is that with what's his or Guilty Gear? That one person. Game looks hot. Guilty Gear. I'm trying to remember. Is that from... It's like that. Bridget, that's right. Is that because of Bridget, who was, what, a woman, but now has been declared a trans person or something? Bridget was born one of 2 twin sons. There is a reason for this. Apparently exiled. However, Bridget's upbringing was what one would expect for a daughter of a high society family instead of a son. They took a character that was a cross-dresser, yeah, Bridget, and turned him trans and turned into a feminine male into a non-binary. Yeah, this is why all this shit is retarded. It's so damn confusing, and then they expect you to just go along with it. It's like, no thanks. No, thank you. Well, that's all I had for you guys tonight. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. Let's see. Anybody we know online and we can redirect to, show some love? Nope, not on YouTube. Oh, there's my boy Arthur. What's he talking about? You know what? We'll be nice. We'll go ahead and rate my boy Arthur over on Rumble. Alrighty, confirm. You guys, thanks for hanging out. Have fun. Have a good rest of the day. Wait, I rated myself. Whoops. I thought that was retarded of me. Let's try that again. Only one rate is available for live stream, and because I accidentally rated myself. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm retarded. Well, that sucks. How? Oh well. But make sure to like and subscribe, you guys. I might hop on later tonight. Maybe do some more either Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, or maybe some Dragon Ball Z Supersonic Warriors. Might hold off on... We might jump back into Beyond Good and Evil tomorrow. So keep an eye out if I go live. But yeah, you guys have a good rest of your night. Take care. Thanks for everyone for hanging out. Thanks for the help and support. Kamanga laughing at me because I rated myself over on Rumble. Yep, that's how I roll, baby. All right. You guys take care. Have a good night. God bless. And if I'm online, I'll see you then.